Fox 17 Rock Interview. My special guest today, we've got Campbell and Astro from UB40. And, it's so great, talking with you guys, Ali, here at the Ryman in Nashville.
This is hallowed ground, For us, it's like, wow, we've made the ground.
And you guys, 70 million records sold worldwide.
Well, I reckon about 100 million, if you're looking at the bootlegs and and everything else.
And you just recently, earlier this summer, you had an Unplugged double LP that came out.
We did. It came out on Universal, and that was an experiment. It was like a joke almost. We were promoting the Silhouette album in radios all around Britain, and they didn't really have enough room for 11 of us, in the radio stations. So they kept saying, can you do like a smaller, sort of stripped down version? So we went, okay, and we did about 5 of those sessions and then realised, we've got an album there. That's an Unplugged.
Wow, how great is that?
There'd never been an Unplugged reggae album, as far as we knew, because, of course, there's no bass.
Right.
And that's a bit like a contradiction.
Yeah, it really is.
Well,
you guys were so far ahead of your times, too, as an English reggae band. And as we were talking earlier, Ali, you launched the whole thing in 1979.
Yeah, 79. People didn't know what dub was, and we had the first dub album in the charts ever. And people brought it back saying it was faulty, because there was no vocals and there was strange echoes, So people really did not know what dub was.
Wow.
And if you look at contemporary music today, you've got Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande and Katy Perry and Rihanna and Beyonce all using reggae beats.
Totally.
So,
And you guys were doing it back then.
Well, we loved reggae, and the thing is, when people say, how come, you're still going 35 years later or whatever.
Well, and it'll be 40 soon.
Ouch! It'll be the UB40, in 2020. But I think there's no secret. What it is we chose the youngest music genre that there was, 79 was when we started. Reggae only started in 1968, Before that it was rocksteady, and before that it was ska,
Well, you and Astro both had a lot of musical influences, including your father was a folk music guy that toured all over the country there in the UK.
He did, and all over Europe, but I hated folk music, as it happens, because there was no bass, and the music of the streets where we grew up in Borsalete in South Birmingham was reggae, that's when reggae was growing and being born, when I grew up. So I grew up with reggae as much as my Jamaican and West Indian friends, second generation. Immigrants, So, that's why we play reggae, because we grew up with it and we love it.
That's amazing. Well, and I also wanted to bring up that with the double LP and everything, there is actually a red wine now. So not just the amazing hit song that hit on the U.S. charts, UK charts, everywhere. Now you guys have a wine.
Yeah.
Yep. It's taken 30 years of research.
There's a lot of research went into this wine, that's the truth.
But we can categorically say it's absolutely perfect now. It's a Bordeaux Superior, it's a Cabernet Franc, and
it's a cuvee.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's beautiful.
Now, who's making it, Astro?
Eminent Life, and you can get it from eminentlife.com.
Now, is it also available on the UB40 website?
Yes,
Yeah, you can get our wine. It's a perfect gift. You get a cuddly reggae album with no bass, which makes it a lot more appealing, I think, to people who don't like reggae or who are intimidated by loud bass. So we've sort of inadvertently invented a new genre of reggae called cuddly reggae. And to go with the cuddly reggae, you get a lovely bottle of Bordeaux Superior.
It sounds like a very nice pairing.
Yeah, absolutely.
They work perfectly together.
They do.
Now, I also wanted to bring up, Ali, I've got you guys here on the Ryman stage to where you're going to have a new album, a new UB40 album coming out in February?
February, it's on Universal. I'd say it's the best thing we've done in 25 years. Anyone that's heard it has gone crazy that, we've got monitor mixes that we played to Universal and everyone's just loving it, and we love it.
Yeah, we've been having so much fun just making it, it's just great.
It's like we're peaking, right? It's took 30 odd years, but we've finally peaked.
But you guys, and I think you continue to bring incredible music, and obviously your fans and all the venues that you're selling out all across America as the tour continues. but it's just amazing. You've got an 11-piece band going now. We were talking earlier before the show that, you know, in the early days, Astro had to play trumpet and everything. Now you've got a full horn section.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, I spend more time up front singing vocals, so really trying to master the trumpet as well. I thought I'm better up front, so I leave it with the brass section that we've
passed
got.
on the gauntlet, didn't you, to our trumpet players? We've got 3 fantastic brass players there.
Yeah,
we've only got 2 with us at the moment because one of them, unfortunately, is ill. But yeah, you know, I think we've got the hottest reggae band on the road in the world at the moment. You know,
I totally agree.
truly, you know, and. Since Astro returned to the fold, that's the reunion that everyone was waiting for.
And you've got Mickey along with you also, right?
Yeah, Mickey's been with us from day one, you know. So yeah, we're sort of basically having a bit of a renaissance, and we're looking forward to a serious renaissance when we release our new album.
And so that's going to kick off a whole new tour as well then.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing. You know, you guys have so many great things going. And I wanted to bring up also, a lot of viewers may not know, and I was telling my my crew when we were coming down to interview you guys, that where the term UB40 actually came from.
Unemployment benefits, UB. It was, we were all unemployed. You know, we were sort of as a result of Thatcher's Britain, you know, we were disenfranchised youth, all unemployed. And a friend of ours said, well, why don't you call yourselves after the card you need to get your money, you know, which was the UB40 registration card. So yeah, we inadvertently got ourselves 3 million card-carrying fans, you know, instantly.
Just automatically.
Yeah. Talk about marketing genius.
Well, it was. You guys were, once again, ahead of your time, Astro. You know, and we were talking to, you know, you guys were discovered, you know, early in the 80s by Chrissy Hind, right, when you were playing a pub.
Absolutely, 1980. We'd only done 12 shows professionally, you know, as a band.
Right.
Chrissy Hines and the Pretenders were #1 at the time with Brass in Pocket, and she came and saw us at our 12th show and invited us on her sort of nationwide tour. So we went on that. We released our first single, which was Food for Thought and King, a double A side about Martin Luther King.
Right. I got to #4.
Went to #4 and we didn't look back after that.
Well, and you've had so many #1 hits, and
Thank
we
you,
were talking
Auntie
about,
Chrissy.
you know,
Big
just so many great hits through the years, and you know, doing the Unplugged. I mean, I think that was a great idea as well, especially that you were already doing it with the radio stations.
That's exactly how it happened. You know, we weren't thinking about doing an Unplugged at all, but we were asked to promote the Silhouette album, and they kept saying, well, we can't really get 11 of you in the studio, you know, in the radio stations, of course, they're tiny, you know. So we ended up doing some little acoustic sessions, and then we did about 5 of them and realised, well, that's an album, you know. Let's put out an Unplugged, which had never been done before with reggae.
Well, and you guys have done so much with reggae that hadn't been done before, and I wanted to bring up, and I know Astro told me before the interview started, we can't say the name of it yet for the new album coming out in February, but any, like, you know, great, I mean, what can you tell me, Ali?
Absolutely nothing other than the fact that it's the best thing that we have done in years.
It is, yeah. We're very
I'm
happy
like,
with it.
It gets goosebumps just thinking about it.
Then you know it's incredible.
And everybody who's heard snippets of the tracks, they can't decide which is going to be the first single.
So will you guys start releasing information on the website and on your social media sites?
You'll just have to keep tuned in.
I will.
We'll be releasing a couple of singles before the album release in February, yeah.
And then coming back to the Ryman.
Oh, absolutely. If we're invited,
If we're
we'll be
invited,
here every time.
Always. Well, just amazing. So great to have you here in Nashville, and your music is just it's such a gift. You know, with the reggae beats and the great lyrics, and just so thankful you guys are back on the road and making more great music.
We're really happy to be here. I'd like to say big love to everybody out there in Nashville world, and you know, this country universe. Yeah. It's great to be here, you know, and we can't wait for tonight's show.
Awesome. Well, once again, Ali Campbell and Astro from UB40. Be sure and pick up a copy of the Unplugged double CD, which is out now, and we're going to be on the watch in February of 2018 for the brand new album. Thanks for watching the Fox 17 Rock and Review.